Do you feel like you're in a season of everything being stripped away? Does it feel like God is punishing you or that things are taking so long to happen or to come to pass? Well, if you find yourself in that place, then stay tuned to this message because I have a word that I want to share with you today. And it's really just something that the Lord's been talking to me about this week. And it really just hit my heart in a good way. So I wanted to share it with you guys. And basically the title of this is called It's Not Punishment, It's Preparation. And this kind of stems from a season that I've been going through for a while now. It feels like years, and maybe it really kind of has been, but it's just been a season where literally everything that I knew about life or everything that comprised my life and my day-to-day activity has literally just been stripped away. And this really kind of started in fall of 2019, where I quit my job in the banking industry. And I had been in that industry for 20 years and I had worked my way up the corporate ladder, and I had a really high paying, good, stable job. I was good at my job, and I had felt the Lord was calling me out of there, and I didn't know what was next. I had really no clue, but I had just felt like I needed to just follow what he was saying. So my job, so many things, and I've done other videos that kind of went into a little bit of what's happened over the past couple of years, but literally just everything in my life has been stripped down to nothing. So my job, my car, I haven't had a vehicle for several months now, and really everything that I once knew as normal is gone. And it's just been a very different time. So it's been a stripping away season. And there's been a lot of great things that are happening in this season, but mentally, I found myself wondering, am I being punished? Is the Lord like punishing me for something? Because I've never had everything in my life stripped away like in such a deep level like this. So I've never gone through this before, and I started to almost question, like, am I being punished in some way? So the Lord brought this message to me the other day, and it's literally where he says, it's not punishment, it's preparation. So I want to start off by reading 2 Corinthians chapter 1, verses 8 and 9. And this is the New Living Translation. And I'm going to start in the second half of verse 8. So it says, we were crushed and overwhelmed beyond our ability to endure, and we thought we would never live through it. In fact, we expected to die. But as a result, we stopped relying on ourselves and learned to rely only on God, who raises the dead. And I just love that version because it literally is saying we were crushed, we were overwhelmed beyond our own ability. We didn't know if we could endure this season any longer. And I'm sure a lot of you can relate with me in that, where you're going through this season that just feels endless. And when you add a pandemic and just the changes in the world over the past couple of years, when you add all these things together, it's just like, oh my goodness, can I endure this? Like, how much longer can I endure this for? But it says, my laptop is acting up today. It says, we stopped relying on ourselves and learned to rely only on God. So really, that's the whole point of this stripping away. And also, as he was talking to me about this the other day, I saw the crushing of the grapes that produce wine. I saw the crushing of the olives that produce olive oil. And so I started kind of looking into those things, and back in ancient times, the scholars believe that they used to take the olives and place them between woven like fabric, and they would squeeze them. So here these olives are crushed, they're squeezed, and it produces this oil. So really that's the place that I found myself in this season where I feel like I'm being stripped away of every single thing that I once knew. And it's emotional for me because it's been really difficult. But it's also been a crushing too at the same time that's producing something in me. It's producing an oil that's coming out of me through all of this. So as the Lord was just continuing to speak to me about these things, and he was showing me the grapes and then the olives, he said, good things take time. And then I saw literally like flashes of different pictures. So the first one was a baby. And obviously a baby takes anywhere from 37 to 40 weeks to grow and to develop. And the next one that he showed me was, again, the grapes and the wine. And I was just doing a little bit of research because I'm a nerd and I love to do that. But wine can take anywhere from a few weeks to 4 years to ferment. And then there's some wines that literally sit for years and years and years. The next picture he showed me was a big piece of cheese, and I love cheese, but cheese doesn't love me, so I don't really eat it much. But cheese literally takes months and can take up to 18 years to fully ferment, or I think cheese ferments. I'm pretty sure. But anyway, it could take up to 18 years for cheese. And then he started showing me different things in nature. So he showed me the Grand Canyon, then like forest and gardens and just, seeds, that every single thing, started as something small, like a seed, or even the Grand Canyon. I mean, that took so many years to create something so beautiful. Good things take time. So, and then the last one that he showed me was a diamond. And I was looking into diamonds as well. And I knew that they kind of went through a process to be formed. And I won't get into all the details of that. But basically, diamonds can take days to millions of years to form. And another fact about the diamonds was they take high temperature and pressure to form. And this went along with something that he was telling me the other day when he was showing me all these pictures and just kind of going over this with me. He said, basically, these things, it's a process with stages to produce something that couldn't exist had it not gone through this process. And I feel like that's what he's doing with me in this season, in my own life. And I'm sure a lot of your lives as well, where we go through these seasons of, Lord, is this punishment? Like, I don't understand. I just don't understand this season, and it seems so long, and what's next? And, in this waiting period almost, and your mind just, it's hard to sometimes just be content and not really lose hope in any way. So, as he was showing me this, he's saying, he's producing something in me and you through these processes that wouldn't have happened if we wouldn't have gone through the season. So even if the season seems long and maybe unbearable at times, there's things that are developing within us that we would never have if we wouldn't have gone through this. I know I'm always emotional. I think I cry like every day, but it's been a hard season. And if you're feeling that your season has been long and hard too, you're not alone. As Christians, we go through times where we're really up, and there's times that maybe seem more difficult, and then there's seasons that seem extremely long, and you're not sure what the Lord is doing. But he reminded me this week that good things take time. We have to go through the crushing, the stripping away, the squeezing, the stretching. We have to go through these places in order for him to mold and shape us into who he wants us to be. And another thing that he said, which goes along with that, is He said, it's painful, it's uncomfortable. It can feel like such a long process, but the end result will be worth it. So I hope that this gives you guys hope today if you're in the season. It really encouraged me that he's not punishing me, he's not punishing you, but he's preparing us for our purpose, our destiny in him, for greatness. He wants to mold and shape us into who he created us to be. And the only way that he can do that is for us to go through these processes and the squeezing and the pressing and the crushing for us to actually get there. So in the uncomfortable places, in the pain and the difficulties of it all, remember that the Lord is working. And then I just wanted to read a couple scriptures that I felt kind of tied into this. The first one is Proverbs 16:9. And this is the New Living Translation, and it says, we can make our plans, but the Lord determines our steps. And that is just such a simple, straightforward verse. There's a lot of times I feel like I'm like, Lord, I don't know what's next. I don't know really what you want me doing in the season where I feel like everything has been stripped away, literally. I don't really know what you want me doing. And reminding myself of verses like this where I can make plans and look to him and he will direct my steps no matter what. So I just need to step out, and if it's not the right thing, he will course correct me where he wants me if I'm looking to him for the answers, for direction. You know, it's really, if we sit back and just wait and do nothing, that's not going to work. So we need to play an active part in this too, where we are praying and asking the Lord to help us through this season of uncertainty, but also have an active part of, I'm going to step out and do this, or this is my next plan of action. Lord, thank you that you're in control, that you know the way. I thank you, Lord, that you will open the doors that are right for me, that you'll close the doors that are not. And when we walk with him hand in hand, we can have the confidence and assurance that he is directing every single step. And just like me, where even that could be confusing, that can be, it seems like I'm taking like baby steps and, doing an inch every, month or something. It can seem discouraging after a while, but just knowing that he has our destiny and our life in the palm of his hand, that should give us enough hope and encouragement to know that he has a good future for us. And one of my favorite verses of all time is Proverbs 3:5-6, and it's trust in the Lord with all your heart and lean not on your own understanding. Submit to him in all your ways, and he will make your paths straight. And that is, again, just another good reminder that he is directing our steps. He is with you. He is with me in this season that maybe just seems so long, and you feel crushed and pressed and stripped and just all the things. And I just want to encourage you that keep looking to the Lord and just keep trusting him every single step of the way. And I just wanted to end with the last thing that he told me the other day, and it was just such a good picture, and it was just so true, yet so simple. But he basically showed me a father and a child, and he said, would a father discipline a child that wasn't doing anything wrong? And when you think about it, just in your own life with your own kids, if they were, cleaning their room and getting straight A's and just being on their best behavior, would you discipline them for no reason? No, you wouldn't. So he said, why would I punish you or discipline you if you're seeking after me, if you're spending time with me every day? Like, he's a good father. So my mindset shouldn't be that I'm being punished in this season, or that he's doing anything to me as his child, because he's only good. So just as a natural father wouldn't discipline their child just because, he doesn't do that either. And he said that he is absolutely good. So this is just something that the Lord had helped me with this week, and I hope it helps you guys as well. I think sometimes when you go through something for a very, very long time, and like I said, this has been a season of what has really been a few years for me, I think that's where my mental started to change to where I'm like, Lord, I feel like I'm being punished. And I just love that he spoke to me this week and said, it's not punishment, it's preparation. And that just gave me hope and encouragement. So I hope this encourages you guys today. If you're in that long season, keep going. Look to the Lord. He will direct every single one of your steps, just like he will for me. So share this with somebody who needs encouragement, and we'll talk to you soon. God bless you.